There you go.
Don't tell us our angles. Are our angles good? We off center?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's too many.
We need to balance them.
Yeah,
Edit.
Michael, we need that side.
I see full. No, it's always full.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, just
Yeah.
get it.
Put it on.
Yeah,
There you go. You can,
What a nice day. It's beautiful.
come on, Mr. President. Come on.
Do we need to do mic tests or anything like that, or are we good? We're all good? Okay. All right. Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. My name is Manuel Bonilla, president of the Fresno Teachers Association, proud teacher at McLean High School. Behind me, you see members of our executive board, the Fresno Teachers Association executive board, all educators in Fresno Unified, all fantastic leaders and educators, along with our executive director, Mr. Louis Jamerson. Today we're here to talk about an update in regards to our contract negotiations with Fresno Unified. The FTA started these contract negotiations over 18 months ago with the focus of reversing years of failed management by reimagining education and what it could mean for our children in Fresno Unified, over 74,000. In that span of time, we put countless ideas across the table to Superintendent Nelson and his team of highly paid bureaucrats. They've ignored virtually all of them. As we've gotten closer to today, 4 key issues have emerged as critical to the success of Fresno's students: reducing class sizes, reducing the caseload of special education programs, paying educators a wage that keeps up with inflation, and maintaining our employee health fund. At a time when Fresno Unified has record high revenue from Sacramento, record high rainy day reserves, record high senior executive compensation, and record high payroll for consultants and PR staff, it shouldn't be difficult to come to consensus for our students. Yet the district and FTA cannot be further apart. Suffice it to say, our teachers are tired. They're tired of the empty promises, the nonsense slogans, the highly paid administrators paying lip service to solving real issues on our campuses. Last week, after much deliberation, we put forward next steps into the hands of our educators, and we commenced a strike authorization vote. The last time FTA initiated a strike against Fresno Unified was in 1978. At that time, FTA was roughly half the size it is today. That year, only 59% of members participated in the strike authorization vote. Of that group, 61% voted to authorize a strike. Last night, voting closed on FTA strike authorization vote. 92% of FTA's dues-paying members cast a ballot in the strike authorization. Of that, 93.5% of voting FTA members voted in support of authorizing a strike against Fresno Unified School District. The message sent for our educators is clear. We have a mandate and we are willing to strike. Now, last night, the executive board approved 2 actions. The first is on Wednesday, November 1st, FTA will formally initiate strike activities and begin operating family-friendly picket lines in front of all of our schools and across the district at Fresno Unified offices. Second, this Friday, our educators will be out in front of their schools to give information to parents about the 4 priority issues and about the strike. No educator wakes up and wishes to go on strike. We want to teach and we want to be valued by our school district for our calling, which is teaching our students. But during the course of negotiations, it has become abundantly clear that Superintendent Nelson is disconnected from the realities of the classroom, out of sync with our district's needs, and now he's out of time. It's time for the Fresno Unified School Board of Trustees to meet the moment, lead the district, and deliver a deal that values its educators and puts our students in our school district on a path for a brighter future. We're ready at any moment to come to the table and reach a fair contract that addresses the core 4 issues to improve student success. In the meantime, Fresno parents, you have a clear choice. Put the trust in a random babysitter that your child will be at during a strike, or bring this strike to a quick end and keep your kids safe at home. And with that, I'll take any questions.
What's the average pay of a teacher in Fresno Unified?
Yeah, so this is misinformation in regards to what the district does. Average pay is not a standard metric for education, the education industry. It's about the strength of the salary schedule. And in that, the salary schedule for the beginning and the ending salary for an educator, which is publicly available to all folks, we are at the lowest across the valley.
Do you have a number on that?
Yeah, so the number, the starting salary is $56.13, and the highest is $102, and that includes multiple units above college courses, and including your master's degree, and after 15 years of service.
I know one of your calls to action is for parents to keep their kids home and safe during the strike. What would you say to parents who have fears about the district saying their kids won't get the academic credit or the attendance credit?
You ask any educator and you ask parents if they believe what's going to be happening during a potential strike is education, they're sorely mistaken. The district has spent $3 million for what amounts to packets that they're going to give as students come in. That is not quality education. A strike could be averted and we could keep our teachers in if parents reach out to the school district.
How many days will a strike?
Yeah, great question. At this time, our hope is that it's averted, but we don't know how long it will be. Obviously, a strike is shorter with more folks out on the line and less students in the classroom. And so we again hope that the community will reach out to board members because these are the priorities of our community as well.
So the information being shared this Friday that you mentioned and the intent to want to avert the strike, what can the community expect between now and November 1st?
Again, I want to reiterate, we are operating on two parallel tracks. As we prepare for a potential strike, we are always willing to be at the table. In fact, we'll meet later on today with district leadership, and we hope that as they see the numbers and see this clear mandate from educators, that they will come ready to address these priorities.
Is there a date that the strike would happen if negotiations completely break down?
Yeah, as I mentioned, that date that was set by the executive board is next Wednesday, November 1st. If we do not have a deal by then next Wednesday, November 1st is when a strike will take place.
For those who might be doubting or curious to know, what does it mean when teachers go on strike? Do teachers still get paid? Is there any benefits you have in the meantime? What does it represent, or what does it give teachers?
Yeah, so again, teachers are making a sacrifice in this case. They will not be compensated for those days, and they're making a sacrifice on behalf of their students in this community for the priority items of reduced class sizes, reduced special education program, class caseload ratios, I should say. And so they're making a sacrifice for our students. In regards to health benefits, that's not something that is taken away from our educators or any employee. And so that's what they can anticipate during that time. Yes, sir.
You and the board, along with your negotiators, are going to be meeting this afternoon. Is this when you will give them the formal notice? You guys have to eventually notify the district. Is that going to be today?
Yeah, so we hope that this would serve as a public notice, and we will also communicate that via a written document and verbally let them know about Wednesday, November 1st. But again, our goal is to try to avert that. And in order for that to happen, the district needs to stop ignoring the priorities of our educators and students and come to the table ready to talk.
It seems to me that money could be better spent by Fresno Unified instead of paying $500 a day for a substitute teacher. They should negotiate maybe?
Absolutely. So it is disrespectful that, number one, they've already allocated $3 million just to prepare for the strike and are willing to spend $2 million a day during a strike. That is a slap in the face to educators. Come to the table. Let's meet the priorities of our students and value educators for the work that they do in our classroom.
The district says you guys are actually, the salary they're paying substitutes are actually the salary of its teacher salary. So it's not necessarily like
I could guarantee you that they are going to be paying more than the normal teacher salary. Again, very misleading of them to say that. And you ask any teacher, I'm sure your audience knows somebody that is an educator in this district. Ask them. You don't have to believe me. Ask them. Again, it's a slap in the face to spend $2 million that could be invested directly into our classroom.
So how long has this been going on as far as, I know that teachers have asked for things to happen in years past. It seems that hasn't worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why the need for change currently. For too long, this district has gotten away with the mismanagement of, number one, investments. When you see them spending $90 million on consultants, highly paid bureaucrat, and not investing into our classroom, that's a concern. That's the whole point. We are trying to change that and chart a new course for our students.
And what do you want to tell your fellow administrators as far as teachers and staff and people like that?
You know, we are all on the same team trying to make sure that we meet the needs of our students, but it is time to readjust the priorities of this district outside of the classroom into the classroom.
And just with
Let me go here first.
with sports being part of the problem here, like parents being concerned about sports, what do you guys?
Sports is fully under the control of the district. We may have a very few limited number of educators that are also coaches. However, the choice to continue sports is completely under the district's purview.
And with that said, I understand that they're going to try their best to staff sports, high school sports, and other sports in the district when this all goes on.
Yeah, and again, more power to them if they do that. And I think it only shows how valuable our educators are, because a lot of people don't know that the way sports is currently staffed is by volunteer teachers. Again, a devaluing of our educators by making them volunteer. And so we want to make sure if they do that, again, it's all under their own purview. That is their decision to do.
The district said last week that they were waiting for the union to submit a formal response to offer number 2, other than ripping it up on stage. Has there been a response from the
There's already been conversations. In fact, the fact that they said that is a little bit misleading, because just minutes before their press conference, we had already shared ideas. However, we are going to give them an official document today with the idea that these are ideas on how we might be able to change in these priority areas, including class size reduction, special education caseload reduction, salary, and healthcare.
Just how far apart is the district and the union on these 4 issues?
We're very far apart. I mean, when they want to cut our health fund in order to pay for a salary increase that's below inflation, and they say that we do not want to reduce class sizes or special education caseloads, that's far apart. If you talk to any educator, you know that these are the priorities that will help transform public education. And if you talk to parents, these are the priorities that they want in their classroom as well.
You know, if these were the priorities, why weren't these being negotiated from the very beginning? Just the focus from the very beginning back in November of 22.
They absolutely have been.
Could you take us through a quick rundown of what the next week looks like? You guys are striking on Wednesday. What does the next week look like in preparation for that strike?
Yeah, great question. So again, the strike authorization, our board has authorized a strike to commence on Wednesday, November 1st. In the meantime, we will have our teacher leaders at each school site picking up strike material. We'll be having a strike poster making night, if you will, family friendly. And then on Friday, this Friday, October 27th, our educators will be out at their school sites prior to the start of school, giving out information to our parents that, number 1, show our shared priorities, and number 2, to inform them of how we might be able to avert this strike.
How many teachers are in the district?
We had 4,015 eligible members in our vote.
About how many teachers do you expect to take to the
One more time, I'm sorry.
About how many teachers do you expect will take to the picket?
Well, we know that over 3,600 voted. In fact, there's about 3,700 that voted yes. And so we would imagine that that number will actually grow as people that maybe were on the fence will see that their colleagues are going out, and the vast majority of them are willing to strike. So we anticipate that number going up.
Just to make sure we got the numbers right for the construction.
Yeah, for sure. So
4,015
So I'll run through the numbers really quickly. There's 4,015 eligible voters. Of that, 3,693 cast a ballot. So that's a voting participation rate of 92%. Of that, 93.5% voted in favor of authorizing a strike.
I guess the bottom line is you don't have to go that far as that goes. So somebody needs to kind of
Yeah, again, this is a clear mandate from our educators. We hope that that Superintendent Nelson and the school board realize that. Again, it is time for the school board to step up and do the job that they were elected to do, to start leading in a way and to come to a settlement that meets our priorities so that way strike is averted. Okay?
When's your next meeting with
We meet later on today. So with that, thank you very much.
Sorry, is the plan to meet every day then until this is sorted out?
We will meet today, and we'll go from there in regards to any subsequent meetings as it comes along. But we know we have one scheduled today. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.